Hello friends, welcome to the Salo Happy Home YouTube channel. I'm happy to be here with you today. This Monday, January 19, 2026, and here in the great state of Minnesota, in the southern half of Minnesota, it's -6 degrees. We had a blizzard, like 50-mile-an-hour winds come through here last night, rattled the house. I thought we were going to get like tree branch projectiles or our little windmill or something out there coming through the back windows because it was that bad. Whew. But I have a lot of content I want to go over this beautiful, brisk Monday morning, and I'm going to do a bunch of little videos about it today, so bear with me. I hope you enjoy the content, and always remember that everyone's comments are welcome here. Everyone's comments are respected here. And also keep in mind that our videos although they do contain facts here and there, they are unscripted, they are undialogued, and they are unscheduled, so they come out of my head and onto the video. Today is Monday, January 19, 2026, and today is MLK Day, which is a national holiday here in the great United States of America, and it is the day that we remember and honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. There isn't one particular word or statement that can describe Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther King was, above all else, a father, a husband, a son, and a great American. Martin Luther King was a minister and one of the great orators of our time. His message was powerful, and his message was felt in ripples throughout the United States in his time. He was also, on the other side of history, known as an agitator and a boat rocker, which is ironic because when he and his followers, the people that believed in his cause, when they marched peacefully down the road. They sang, prayed, they chanted, and they were dressed in ties, dress clothes, skirts, and sweaters. They looked their Sunday best. They harmed no one. They focused on the road ahead of them. And they focused on their message, which came from respectful language on signs. These subhumans that are agitating in Minneapolis right now, these rioters and agitators, they're not peaceful protesters. They are not demonstrating per their First Amendment rights through the Constitution. They are nothing like Dr. Martin Luther King. They are uneducated, animalistic barbarians dressed in furry animal costumes and chicken suits, crazy hair and piercings everywhere. You're not serious. You're not reputable. Not like Martin Luther King was. And unlike these useless agitators in Minneapolis right now, he was arrested for a true cause. He was silenced. They tried to silence him, and ultimately, the bad guys silenced him by way of assassination. And as we all know, before anybody says anything, Rebecca Good was not assassinated. She was not murdered. She committed suicide by cop. If nothing else, committed suicide by cop. George Floyd chose to overdose on drugs before being arrested, knowing that he had a medical condition that would be lethal combined with drugs, but he did it anyway. So he is responsible for his own death. He chose to fight the cops. He chose to take a mouthful of drugs. He chose to pass a bill that was counterfeit. He made the choices that he made. He died because of it. So neither one of those people are martyrs. Neither one of those people are even in the same league as MLK. So I really hope that none of these stupids in Minneapolis go ahead and try to make a comparison, because there is none. And I know that President Trump wants to eliminate this holiday. Now, I'm sure it's because he is so against rioting and agitating, and he probably believes he was a rioter and an agitator and that he was anti-American, which he wasn't. And President Trump, if you are listening or your minions are listening, I want to remind you, of course, that I love you, I voted for you, and I would vote for you again, and I would follow you. But I disagree with you on stopping MLK Day, because now you've already eliminated a day honoring Indigenous people by reversing the Indigenous Peoples Day back to Columbus Day without giving a day to Indigenous people. And now you want to eliminate MLK Day. So now you've alienated all of the Indigenous peoples that live in the United States of America, and now you're working to eliminate people of color, people who are the ancestors of slaves and those that came from the African continent against their will. So it's not just about voter base, President Trump, it's about alienating Americans. As our president, you are required to support every American, regardless of their race, their color, their religion, their creed, etc. So please, please, I implore you, do not stop MLK Day. This is a day where we all need to put down our signs and our air horns, where you need to step aside and have a day of silence and reflection about how we got here. And if it wasn't for Martin Luther King, we wouldn't be where we are today with freedoms and civil rights. People would not have been emboldened to stand up for their God-given rights under the United States Constitution and humanity at large if it wasn't for his voice lifting them up and carrying them through. I always take a few moments on MLK Day to reflect and remember his voice, his many, many speeches, his sermons, because he was a minister. It's important. And you don't have to be black. You don't have to be an ancestor of slaves. You don't have to live in the South to appreciate what Martin Luther King did. He took up the gauntlet for Americans who were too afraid or too unprepared to do it themselves, so collectively behind him, they were able to stand. Take a moment to pull up some videos of his work, his speeches. Look at how him and his people, how they demonstrated their peaceful protests, or demonstrations as they're called. Look at how collected these people were, how calm these people were. Look at how well dressed these people were. Look at how law-abiding these people were, because they do have the right under the law to protest and demonstrate. And you will see a vast difference between them and the rabid kennel loosed upon Minneapolis. Not the same. So in closing, Dr. Martin Luther King, I do thank you for the work that you did and the sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice that you and your family made, which was you being shot and killed on a hotel balcony. Shot and killed by a person that if out alive and on the streets today would be part of the rioters, these evil Nazi Klan rioters in Minneapolis right now. So I want you to go inward. I want you to do some reflection. I want you to look at some of those videos and see the comparison and know that there is none between what's happening in Minneapolis right now and what happened 60 years ago in the Deep South. And until next time, do good and be good.